It's your boy Jarrell coming to you from Colossal Boxing Talk, and I'm here to give my prediction on this weekend's heavyweight bout between Malik Scott and Deontay Wilder. This is a big step up for Wilder, in my opinion. He's fought nobodies. He's 30-0 with 30 knockouts, but his opponents, if you look at his resume, are not very impressive. The names he had fought that we all know about are past their prime and shot fighters. No disrespect to him because I'm a big fan because he's a Bama boy. He's from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and I'm from Huntsville, Alabama. But I'm calling it like I see it. His resume, is not impressive. It's not impressive, and it leaves more to be desired. And he's trying to right that, take that step in the right direction with this fight against Malik Scott, who's a very good heavyweight. He's coming off a defeat, his first defeat at the hands of Derek Chisora over, in last year in July, on a controversial KO loss that he suffered in the sixth round. But, you know, Scott is a very good fighter. He has a very good jab. He has a very good active jab. He throws 30 jabs per round. That is unusual for a heavyweight. The average, I believe, is 19 to 20 jabs per round, but he exceeds that by 10 jabs, and, he has a very good elite jab. He has quick hands. He fights out of the southpaw stance, and he fights out of the orthodox stance. He's a naturally orthodox fighter, though, but he likes to, mix it up and give his opponents different looks. He loves to throw the left hook. He loves to throw the right hand and, the right uppercut and, the straight right hand. He has some bad habits that I really do not like. Going against a puncher like Wilder and a guy that's aggressive, as much as Wilder is, and that is the fact that he loves to fight on the ropes. And not only does he love to fight on the ropes, once he pulls out and retreats into defensive mode, he pulls out with his chin up in the air, and that's an easy way to get knocked out. It's an easy way to get knocked out because that's not smart. You leaving yourself with no defense, your hands are not up, and you really can't even see what punches are coming. You're looking up in the air and your chin is right there to be hit. And if Wilder lands on your chin with that right hand, you best believe you're not getting up. You're out for the count, and you'll just be another casualty on his KO list. But if he can get Wilder to be overly aggressive, as we've seen Wilder, be in fights with other Harris and other opponents that he's destroyed, he can counter him with a right uppercut and a left hook because Wilder brings his head down, and that leaves his chin wide open to be, hit clean with a left hook or a right uppercut. Wilder has to establish a comfortable distance for himself by using his jab, and he also has to mix up his offensive repertoire. He cannot just be a simple 1-2 puncher, jab, right hand. He needs to mix it up with left hooks, uppercuts, and he also needs to work the body to get Malik Scott on those ropes. Even when he does, even though he loves to fight off the ropes, you got to get him. He should get him there when he really doesn't want to be, and make him a stationary target to where you can work the body, and then you can drop those bombs on him once his hands come down. But like I said, Wilder has to be careful and not be overly aggressive and anxious to get the KO victory. He needs to go rounds. He needs this experience this weekend. He needs to test his stamina and see if if he can go 10, 12 rounds, or he just needs that experience, because even though he's a fighter with 30 fights, if you look at his record, he has a lot of early KOs and just not enough experience in going rounds, and that's something he will need going along in his career when you talk about him potentially facing heavyweights like Klitschko, Areola, Stervin, excuse me if I flubbed up his name, but the guy that beat Areola, and they're set to fight in a rematch, for the WBC title. But Perez, the heavyweight that Gary Shawson, short guy, but whatever it is, he needs that experience to be able to adjust to different circumstances that he will sure be, forced to, confront down the line in his career. But with that being said, I think that Wilder survives some scary moments and gets the 8th round KO in an impressive victory, and he moves on up the ladder, and he prepares to fight a better fighters from here on out. But I'm going with Deontay Wilder over Malik Scott in a good competitive fight, where Wilder looks impressive and gets the KO in the 8th round. That's my prediction. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Colossal Boxing Talk. You can also like our page on Facebook at Colossal Boxing Talk. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.